Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going deep, deep, deep on Muhammad Ali.
Oh, fascinating choice.
This one, I think, will be especially interesting for our listeners who maybe only know Ali as, the greatest.
Right, the boxing legend.
Exactly, but there's so much more to him than just that.
Way more.
And that's what we're going to uncover today. We're looking at a podcast script called Muhammad Ali, The Greatest Inside and Outside the Ring.
Okay.
It's from a podcast called English Listening 365. So, right off the bat, we're seeing that it's not just about his boxing career.
Yeah, hinting at that broader impact.
Absolutely. And one thing that really stood out to me just getting into this script was how his whole boxing journey started because of a stolen bicycle.
Oh, wow. I always love origin stories like that.
Right. Like you would never guess that.
No, not at all.
So apparently he was just a kid when his bike got stolen and he was devastated. And a police officer saw him, upset about it and suggested he learn to box to protect himself.
Huh. Almost like a self-defense kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy to think that from that one suggestion, he went on to win Olympic gold at just 18.
Wow, 18. That's incredible. Talk about resilience.
Right. Turning a setback into the start of this incredible journey. Makes you wonder what would have happened if that bike hadn't been stolen.
Yeah, what a sliding doors moment, right?
Totally. And it wasn't just, winning, it was how he won. He was so charismatic. Think about that famous line, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Oh, iconic.
Totally. He was a showman,
Yeah.
always entertaining. But was it all just for show or was there more to it?
Well, Ali was incredibly smart. He understood that boxing wasn't just about physical strength, it was also psychological.
Oh, interesting.
His, what some might call trash talk and the rhymes he'd come up with, they were all calculated. He knew how to get into his opponent's heads.
Oh, so it's a strategy.
Oh, absolutely. He wanted them off balance before they even stepped in the ring, make them doubt themselves.
So mental dominance as much as physical.
Exactly. And you see that perfectly in the Rumble in the Jungle. That fight against George Foreman, that rope-a-dope strategy. Nobody expected that to work.
And it was brilliant. He totally wore Foreman down. So he's got the physical talent, the strategic mind, and then on top of that, he makes this huge decision to change his name after joining the Nation of Islam.
Yeah, a powerful statement about identity in a time of, huge social change.
Definitely not just a name change, but a reflection of everything happening around him, the civil rights movement, all of that.
Oh, absolutely. It really brings to light the social and religious dynamics that were so central to his life.
For sure. And his commitment to those beliefs, well, that's where things get even more interesting, right?
You could say that. His life outside the ring was just as compelling, maybe even more so than his boxing career.
Oh, I totally agree. And that's where we're going to pick up next time on the deep dive.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when Ali refused to be drafted for the Vietnam War.
Oh, yeah. That was a huge deal.
Huge.
He was at the top of his game, right?
Yeah.
World heavyweight champion, and then he risks it all.
And for a lot of people back then, it was really hard to understand.
Oh, for sure. Why would you give all that up?
Right.
Especially, the reasons, his religious beliefs and his conscience, it was just, unheard of for a public figure like him to take such a strong stance.
And it really divided people.
Yeah, there were those who supported him, saw him as this brave figure standing up for what he believed in.
Right.
But then there were others who felt like he was, betraying his country or shirking his duty.
It definitely sparked a lot of debate about, the individual versus the state, the role of religion in society.
Yeah, it was just way bigger than boxing at that point.
Absolutely. It was about principles and convictions and the price you're willing to pay for them.
And he paid a big price. He was stripped of his title. He was banned from boxing for years.
3 years.
Yeah, could have been the end of his career right there.
Easily.
But it wasn't. He came back.
He did, and that's another thing that's so remarkable about Ali, his resilience.
To get knocked down like that and then come back and reclaim the heavyweight title 3 times.
3 times. It's crazy. It's a testament to his unwavering spirit. He never gave up on himself or his beliefs.
And what always gets me is that image of him lighting the Olympic torch in 1996.
Oh, yeah, with Parkinson's.
Yeah, even though he was battling this debilitating disease, he still had that fire in his eyes.
It was such a powerful moment.
Such a powerful moment. And for me, it just kind of sums up everything about Ali. The strength, the determination, the courage to keep fighting no matter what.
He truly transcended boxing at that point. He became a symbol of hope for people all over the world.
And it wasn't just about physical strength. It was about moral courage, too. Standing up for what's right, even when it's hard.
That's what makes him so much more than just the greatest boxer.
Exactly. He was a cultural icon, a global figure who inspired millions with his words and his actions.
He challenged societal norms. He sparked important conversations about race, religion, peace.
And you know what's really amazing is how his legacy continues to inspire people today.
Oh, absolutely. Athletes, activists, everyday people, they all draw inspiration from his story.
And you know, it's funny because in a way, it all goes back to that stolen bicycle.
Right, full circle.
That one incident that set him on this incredible path.
It's a reminder that sometimes setbacks can lead to unexpected opportunities.
And that even when you get knocked down, you can always get back up and fight for what you believe in.
Like Ali said, I'm not the greatest, I'm the double greatest.
He had a way with words.
He did.
So we've talked about his early life, his boxing career, his activism, his resilience.
What a life.
What a life. But I think there's still so much more to explore.
Oh, definitely. And that's where we'll pick up next time on the deep dive. It's amazing, right? To think how far he came from that little kid, devastated about his bike to Muhammad Ali.
To the greatest. And what's striking to me is how he really pushed those boundaries. He didn't shy away from controversy.
No, not at all. He challenged the status quo, made people think differently.
He brought those tough conversations about race, religion, things people weren't really talking about openly, especially in the world of sports.
You're absolutely right. He forced people to confront those issues, whether they wanted to or not.
Yeah, it wasn't just about entertainment anymore. And you see that legacy today, right?
Oh, without a doubt. Athletes using their platform to speak out on social justice, to advocate for change.
Like he paved the way for that.
He really did. He showed that athletes could be more than just athletes. They could be voices for their communities, for what they believed in.
It's incredible, isn't it, how those actions still resonate.
Decades later, and it's still relevant. Still powerful.
And I think that's what makes Ali such a fascinating figure, right? There's always more to discover.
Always another layer. He was so complex.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, is there anything you think our listeners should really take away from all this?
I think the big question is, how did Ali, both in the ring and out of it, change the conversation? How did he contribute to those broader cultural discussions about race, religion, individual conscience?
Yeah, we've only scratched the surface here.
There's so much more to explore. His words, his impact. It's worth digging deeper.
Couldn't agree more. Well, on that note, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the extraordinary life and legacy of Muhammad Ali.
It's been a journey.
It really has. Until next time, keep diving deeper.